racing right now, 450C. Wow, what a push to that whole shot line. And it is going to be the number 27 Honda, Sawyer Beck out of Forest, Virginia. And man, he shoved it in there, took control of that line. Here we go. Is he going to be able to maintain that as they work their way through the short chutes and into the 10 Commandments? No. Kawasaki riders pushed himself into the inside. Sawyer goes way wide and overcooks that corner. Holy cow. Rides to the top of the berm and takes himself out of that position big time. Loses about 4 spots in that ball turn. Working their way back into Storyland right now. Got to see exactly who that is. I believe that's Kawasaki mounted. Let's see, that could have possibly been Cameron Horner, as a matter of fact, making his way back into Storyland with the early lead. And holy cannoli, that was a huge move, Rodney.
Cannoli sounds pretty good.
I love a good cannoli.
Sawyer Beck from Forest, Virginia, again grabbing that early lead. He's a red rider in this 450C class aboard that Honda now. But all things getting sorted out here on lap number 1 as these riders work their way toward the heart of the race course, making their way off the big sweeper turn in front of the Monster Energy viewing deck, and now in and over the step-up tabletop there. And our leader, the Kawasaki pilot, as we pointed out, making his way into this section of the race course is that number 43 machine. And again, that is Cameron Horner out of Bozeman, Montana, on a Team Green Kawasaki Action Cycles and also Sleds backed ride. RMX Syndicate Development and PPS all bringing you this early leader here with us this weekend. The 44 or the 45, excuse me, the 43 of Cameron.
There we
Horner.
go.
I'll get it right. 81 Alba Havarelli, the 4th. Is running second. Raymond Sullivan, the 83 machine, back there in the number 3 spot. Jeremy Sanders, the 41 Yamaha, in 4th. Michael Shanley, Megawatt Matt Watson rounds out your top 5.
Yeah, let me tell you something about Haverly. This guy, keep an eye on him. You and I watched him at High Point, I believe. And this guy has a very aggressive style. When you're in his sights, when he knows time is of the essence or whatever, or he closes up on somebody, this guy will hold it on a little longer in that corner. This guy will get on it a little quicker coming out of that corner. Haverly has a tendency to get very, very aggressive, and I love that style. Keeps that KTM percolating, keeps that thing in the power, and keep your eyes on the number 81 machine.
That for sure, no doubt about it. And other riders to watch out for. Back in the number 6 spot, Jacob McDermott, Peyton Reisner, the number 31. In 8th place, Jackson Driscoll, the 34, the number 60. John Douglas in 9th. Joe Youngs is 10th aboard the number 13. 11 through 20 after lap number 1 includes the 98 of Alex Mitchell. 12th place, Landon Bruner, the number 16. The 56, Kenneth Wetzel. The 28 of Dominic Hill is 14th. The 18, Kyle Skillman is 15th. Sebastian Velez, 74 in 16th. The 72, Cade Flynn. 18th in the 17 of Corey Holcomb. 19th, the 84 of Colin Young. And rounding out the top 20 after lap 1, the 24 of Jackson Zuck. Your leader, your whole shot award winner, Sawyer Beck, checking in aboard the 27 in the 21st place spot at the end of lap number 1.
Man, I told you, he overcooked that corner coming out of the short chute. I just saw riders going by, but all of a sudden you go from whole shot to 21st position in a matter of 3 turns, bro.
Well, we got Michael Shanley we're watching on screen right now. That number, whoa, and Shanley going down, and that's going to open the way there for the number 40 of Jacob McDermott. McDermott now making his way into a top 5 position around Shanley. Shanley was holding on to 5th, but man, he was having that pressure applied by both McDermott and Peyton Reisner. Jackson Driscoll also in the thick of things there as those guys, Shanley, McDermott, Reisner, Driscoll, all checked in within a second of each other at the end of lap number 1. You can see, man, those inside ruts can get a little bit tricky for some of these guys.
Front knobbies just rode up outside of it, Rodney. As you see, just pulled that front wheel out of the rut. Game over right there. But like you said, he was under enough pressure to make a diamond right there, bro.
Wow, that was for sure. He most certainly was. And as Horner, Havarelli, Sullivan run 1, 2, and 3, things start to stretch out a little bit, a little further back behind them here on lap 2, heading into 3. Sanders is 4th. McDermott now in the number 5 spot is Jackson Driscoll in 6th. Joe Youngs in 7th. Michael Shanley gets back up in an 8th place position, checking in with 2 laps complete. Alex Mitchell in 9th, and Kyle Skillman rounds out your top 10 at the end of lap number 2. I'm watching here. I'm thinking now, Sebastian Velez, I may be a little off on this one, but I think Sebastian may be one of our riders we're watching work up through the pack right now on board the 74 machine. So we're going to kind of peg in on him for just a couple moments. He's reeled in Colin Young, it looks like, for 13th. They had a good battle going on there. Colin may be actually another rider that we're going to keep an eye on as well. So between Sebastian and Colin Young, these two riders right here might be working their way toward that top 10 by the end of lap number 3 here.
Yeah, I'll promise you both of those guys. And you mentioned Velez on that 74. He'll be inside that top 10 just shortly. That transport push forward, providing he makes no mistakes. Very, very focused rider, Velez. Hits his marks, pushes all the way to the end. And I can tell you, he's on a mission right now. He's in 14th, and that's not where he wants to be by any means.
No doubt about that. As we check in now with this third lap complete. Horner around 2 minutes, .975. That is the fastest lap in this 450C Moto thus far. We see other riders turning 206s, 207s, 208s, 215s. That's the gap. It goes from a 208 to a 215 as far as these fast laps are concerned. And right now, watching the that first place position rider just in total awe of what we see unfolding here in this particular class.
And let me tell you, to put himself in that position, Cameron Horner, your leader, he shot that bike through the inside rut to open up the short chute. Went clear up the inside, Rodney. Never made a move to the outside. Went clear up the inside and made that pass going into the 10 Commandments from the inside.
That's impressive.
Yeah, you better be hauling to make that work.
And you know, it's amazing the different rhythms that folks have been able to make work for themselves in that 10 Commandment section. We saw a rider yesterday quadding out of it. We saw a lot of riders doing some triples through there, depending on what classes they were in and so forth. But, I mean, different rhythms, different ways to attack it from outside to inside, inside to outside, gain maybe just run an outside line, maybe just run right down the middle, maybe run right down the inside of it. I mean, it's funny how different scenarios work for different riders and their riding styles through that section of the racetrack.
Yeah, you're right. Scenario, style, and situation. The traffic in front of you, the line leading in. So you're exactly right. Who was that kept popping that quad out of there, man?
Oh, that was one of our junior 25.
And it finally bit him. He jumped clear off the track, remember?
Yeah.
Due to a lapper.
Yeah.
Due to a lapper. But he would enter on the right side, jump to the left, and then quad out. Impressive move. I can't remember. I'm sure we will know, but we watched it lap after lap. It finally bit him.
Boy, Michael Shanley has been under pressure pretty much this entire race. He's dropped back to the number 6 spot as he and McDermott have swapped the 5 and 6 positions as we pick the action back up. Again, this is one of the tighter, most contested races on the racetrack right now, and it's, look at this right here. Michael Shanley running in 6th place, 0.8 of a second behind him, the 28 of Dominic Hill. Kyle Skillman another 8/10 seconds back. Jackson Driscoll 7/10 seconds back. 10th place Alex Mitchell 7/10 of a second back. Joe Young's 0.8 of a second back. 12th place Colin Young 0.2 of a second back. You start adding that up, that's pretty tight-knit racing as they went through the conclusion of lap 3, working on lap 4 right now. And did we just see the pass back by Shanley into the number 5 spot?
Actually, no, Shanley got pushed back.
He did.
Into the 6th spot.
He most certainly did. I think he just got pushed back 7th or 8th.
Yeah.
Actually, he might have just dropped back to an 8th place position.
We're about to find out.
Yeah, right here it is. Horner's in, Havarali in, Sullivan in. That's your top 3. Jeremy Sanders in 4th, Jacob McDermott in 5th, Kyle Skillman in 6th. Shanley pushed back to the number 7 spot as looks like Kyle Skillman actually moving up a couple of spots himself. The 28 of Dominic Hill in 8th, the 98 of Alex Mitchell in 9th, and Colin Young now drops back to the 10th place position. Wow, things really changing. Jumbled up through that 6 through 10 spot that last lap around.
I mean, jumbled up, and you go back to the Shanley company. No place to rest, no place to catch your breath there, Loretta. Over a couple of these jumps, maybe you take a big, but that guy, he's been in the mix of something since the gate dropped. He's had pressure from behind, pressure hit, fell over, got the thing back up, kept it running. The good news for him, gave up a few spots, but man, look at this guy, locked in a battle on both sides, dude.
No doubt. And again, we're getting back into this scenario and situation. 19.7 seconds separating first and second place position after 4 laps of racing. Another 8.5 seconds back to Raymond Sullivan. 3.9 seconds back to the 4th place ride of Jeremy Sanders, and another 15 seconds back to your 5th place ride of Jacob McDermott, the number 40 now, as he traverses the track here in this 450C class as a top 5 rider. Kyle Skillman in 6th, Michael Shanley in 7th, Dominic Hill 8th, Alex Mitchell 9th, and Colin Young rounding out the top 10. 11 through 20 after 4. Let's check them after 5 now, as I think this is our halfway point now, so we'll check them at the halfway point. There is the 18 of Kyle Skillman. We're watching Skillman now, and looks like Shanley is the rider that's been trying to regain the position back. Another rider, I think, to keep an eye on back there. Actually, I think that Dominic Hill might have got around Shanley now that I look at him a little closer for that 7th place position. Poor Shanley, man. He's been picked on, it looks like, a pretty good bit. That's actually Skillman we're watching here coming into the closing moments of this 5th lap of racing. But Cameron Horner, the number 43 out front. Albert Havarelli, the 81 machine, in 2nd. Jeremy Sanders, the 41, in 3rd. Raymond Sullivan, the 83, is in 4th place. Jake McDermott checking in now in the 5th place position. And these, I will tell you right now, Megawatt, GNCC times and lap times are closer than this. And if this was a GNCC course, you could multiply these times by like 4, and that would be the gap. So, I mean, in reality, I mean, these are monumental gaps. 16 seconds back to 3rd place, from a 23 seconds back to from 1st to 2nd, 16 seconds back to 3rd from 2nd, and now 13 seconds now from 3rd to 4th, from 4th to 5th, another 6 seconds. Now this is one of the tightest races we got right now. 3.2 seconds, other than Michael Shanley last time around. Again, 0.7 of a second back, but that was in the process of being passed because Dominic Hill got by him. So that technically is not a tight race going on right now unless Shanley picks that pace back up. So right now, our tightest battle through the top 10 is 3 seconds.
Oh, it is. When you look at Horner, he's got that 23, but Haverly, he's just put in those laps one after another. He's riding by himself out there. Now he's coming through some lap traffic, but nonetheless, he's maintained anywhere from 10 to 15 seconds over that 3rd position. Hey, great, that second's just like a first here in this first moto. That is so smart. I knew Haverly would be up here. I knew he would be in it, but he has maintained that gap, like you said. Back to Sullivan, though, another 13 seconds, Rodney. That's insane.
This is something that you don't see very often in our top 5 of a battle like this. But again, we got to look at the class. We are in the 450C. That C classification indicates novice. That means that they are less experienced riders, and so, you know, they don't have the skill set oftentimes that the B classes and many of the 80cc classes do at this time. So that's probably why we see those so much tighter versus this 450C class here today.
And outside of the skill level, the designation, the variance. Some of these C riders, it's their very first year.
Right.
Some C riders, it might be their 3rd year. They haven't earned points. They haven't done one. They haven't been qualified. But in that C class, there's a big gap in what the first guy's true talent level is in the final guy.
No doubt about that. As we check down, we got the 2 lap board come out, man. We're turning them like crazy out through here.
Turn and burn, brother.
That's it, man. And we are crowning Moto winners and handing out those Moto medals every 30 minutes, man. I mean, it's like clockwork. It's like it's...
Can you imagine that? Like it's almost planned.
Exactly. You imagine that.
Well, all right, man. This one has not disappointed. 450C. Cameron Horner just on point right now. The guy's on rails, super consistent. Can't say enough about Albert Haverly, man. Albert Haverly, the 4th, super solid, super consistent. Just one of those riders that goes and does work, and it always in it at the end. Jeremy Sanders, he's earned this one so far, putting himself up into that number 3 position. 2-lap card, I believe, is still out. Going to be seeing that white flag as the number 43, Cameron Horner, works his way around one more time. And as we look out across the field, holy cow, just riders at every inch of this track. And trying to get that location. There he is. There's our leader right there. Coming down into the trees and working his way back down around the billboard and back into the front section of the course. All right, out on that final lap, Cameron Horner working his way back into Storyland, and a whole host of riders coming through that 10 Commandments, and there goes our leader, the number 43. As we said, back into Storyland right now, so that puts him about half a lap out. Albert Haverly, location right behind the billboard, I believe. On that 81 KTM in that number 2 spot, and the 41 of Jeremy Sanders. He just went by just a moment ago. Jacob McDermott just coming through. He's in that 5 spot now. He's on the number 40 Kawasaki. All right, getting some quick notes right there from the boss, but here we go for the final time up and over the Yamaha mountain. It is the 43 of Cameron Horner. Cameron now trying to put this one to bed up and over the big Polysport tabletop in the middle, around the pond for the last time. Going to kind of throttle back, going to take it easy, going to find that smooth line as he works his way down into the Bermuda Triangle. Cameron Horner really putting a stamp on this one right now, making a statement here in the first moto of our 450C class. Cameron Horner, a convincing win. Taking a look for that 81 machine. Where is he at? Should be that KTM of Haverly coming into view here. I believe that's him right there. That looks like Haverly in the bright orange riding gear. So second place rider around the pond right now, just about 32 seconds back last time around, and Haverly, a masterful ride on that 81 machine, making very few mistakes, not overriding this track today, and just riding a smooth pace, keeping himself in contention. I got to tell you, that second is as good as a first in this first moto. Getting that podium set up down there. Rodney's going to talk to Horner, Haverly, and is it going to be the number 41? Where is Sanders? There he comes right there on that Yamaha. Jeremy Sanders looking a bit tired. Got that thing throttled back right now. Going to save as much energy as he can for his next motos. But again, Jeremy Sanders, a great race, showing great strategy right there, and putting himself in podium position here on the finish line. And as the checkered flags fly, Horner, Haverly, Sanders, 1, 2, and 3. Coming up next, 250 Pro Sport. Going to be joined up here soon by the Weege and Kevin Kelly. Going to set the stage for our 250 Pro Sport here in just a moment. Right now, riders continue to circulate, and holy cow, Raymond Sullivan doing a great job putting himself in that fourth position. Jacob McDermott in a fight pretty much most of this race, having somebody around him on that number 40 Kawasaki. Kyle Skillman able to bring it home in the number 6 spot. Dominic Hill in the 7th place. Mike Shanley, man, Michael Shanley, that guy, he looked like a pinball out there. That guy was bouncing off of everything. Other riders, ruts, trees, put in a hard-fought ride, kept himself inside the top 10 in that number 8 spot. Gabriel Gotler in that number 9 position, and Alex Mitchell able to bring it home in that 10th spot.
Cameron Horner, right? Congratulations to you, my friend. You're picking yourself up some Moto gold here in Moto number 1, buddy. Talk a little bit about that. How'd you make that happen?
I got a great start and took some good lines on the first couple of laps and got away from those guys, and it was really good.
And, of course, being here at Loretta Lynn's, what's it mean for you to be able to pull off a win like that?
Just training over the months, working hard.
All right, who do you want to say thanks to?
I want to, especially my parents, Kawasaki, RMX, Pirelli, and then everyone else back home that's helped me the most.
All righty, congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together for Cameron Horner, Moto 1 winner here at Loretta Lynn's. And oh, sorry about that, but that hadn't been turned on. Imagine that. Cameron Horner, ladies and gentlemen, 2nd place. Ain't no wonder these guys ain't been able to hear me. So I got this earbud in my ear, so I hear me. So I think, well, they should be able to hear me. But now the speakers are finally on. So Albert Haberly making his way up here for a second place position. He's got Moto silver here in this 450C class. His tongue's not out and his chin's not dragging, but he's breathing through his mouth right now, man. I got to tell you, that one right there wasn't nearly as easy as a training session back home, I guess, huh?
No.
Talk a little bit about your moto.
Well, I got off to like a top 6 start, and then I just made a few passes in like the first few corners, and then tried to stay in top 2 because I knew once he got out front, he's going to be hard to catch. So
what was that moto like? Was anything like what you expected?
it was rougher than I thought, but otherwise it was pretty good.
Awesome, buddy. Who do you want to say thanks to?
My mom, my dad, Callahan MX School, Mount Holly Motorsports, Scott Goggles, and everybody else I forgot.
All righty. Congratulations, Al Haberly, second place and getting himself the silver here in Moto number 1. And over to our third place position, finisher, I believe we're talking about, is it Jason Sanders, I believe, if I'm not mistaken? Did I get that right? Jeremy. Sorry, Jeremy. I knew it started with, I got Jay Sanders written on my hand. I left my paper up there, but Jeremy Sanders, congratulations to you, my friend. Outstanding performance out there, dude. You never know what the forces are going to be like that you're battling with, especially when you come to Loretta Lynn's. Take us through that one.
Well, I got off to a pretty rough start and just tried to make some clean passes and get up front fast, and it ended up working out for me.
So you feeling pretty solid about the second and third motos coming up?
Yes, for sure. A lot better than the first one.
Awesome, buddy. Who do you want to say thanks to?
I'd like to say thanks to EBR Performance, Altus Motorsports, DW Racing, my mom, my dad, and Eric Edwards, and everyone else. Thank you very much.
There you go. Jeremy Sanders shaking the Moto bronze here today in this 450.